Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to part 2 of sorting the defect on this house. Today is all going to be about getting rid of the overspray, and if you look at the panel around here you can see the difference in gloss. So we're going to get that cut back and polished up and looking nice and shiny. So first thing we need to do before we do anything is give this panel and the adjacent ones a bit of a wash off. Back in a tick. I'm not going to bother with buckets or anything today. I've just got some shampoo solution in the bottle. And we're going to pre-soak the mitt. The mitt's already wet. Do what we always do. Straight lines, no pressure. You can actually hear the roughness of the overspray. We'll be cleaning that off shortly. That's pretty good. And quick rinse. Marvellous. Okay, so onto the clean stage. This is going to be to remove the overspray and try and level things out a little bit. So, been using this for donkey's years, absolutely love it. Torn a piece off here, I've had it soaking in warm water for a couple of minutes just to help soften it. And I'm just going to be using the shampoo solution that I used to wash the car down. It's Poor Boy Super Slick and Suds. In that 1 litre bottle there's probably 30 ml, but it provides more than enough lubrication. So no secret to claim really. Get it lubricated. And off we go. Now I'm not expecting a huge amount from this side of the panel, but I can actually hear it. Now with clay, keep just enough pressure to keep the clay flat against the panel and nothing more. And it is, you can hear it actually now, you can hear where it's beginning to pick up. If you feel that your clay is dragging a little, give it a little more lubrication and off you go again. And it is definitely dragging there. You can, oh, listen to that. Periodically stop and inspect the surface of your clay for any defects. And it is picking some up already. And that's it really. Keep moving until your panel is beautifully smooth and you can't hear this horrible, horrible grunting noise anymore. Now I'm going to split this down into 2 sections. So I'm going to do the half that hasn't really got a lot of overspray. I'm going to go top to bottom. I'm then going to flick the clay to go over that side. If I am picking up a lot of defects, what I'm going to do is just fold the clay, knead it until you get a nice fresh surface, and then carry on. But really, there isn't anything special about clay. Yeah, just take your time, be vigilant, and you will get decent results. And we're back. Right, that took a little longer than expected, but that will teach me if I ever do this again to mask everything off properly. Right, so the panel is now beautifully and smooth. So now it's time to bring this gloss level and this gloss level together, or attempt to bring it together. Now, all the orange peel that I saw when I initially put the clear coat on seems to have levelled. It's not massive, it's no more textured really than this side. So I was going to 2500 it, but I don't think I'm going to need to. I think what I'm going to do is, you can clearly see where I need to cut from. So I'm going to run a tape line. I'm then going to cut this side of the panel, see what it looks like after the initial cut, and then if all is good, we'll just go with a general polish from this swage line down, and then get some LSP on it. Let's get cracking. Right, let's give this a go, shall we? You guys have seen me do this before. Poor Boys SSR 2.5. This is a cheap Chinese pad, but it's as coarse as hell. I'm not sure this is going to be a good idea. So, spread everything about. Got far too much up there. Yes, this is an awful lot of compound for this area, but for a very good reason. I want to keep it wet because I'm going to be working it for quite a long time. 6, 7, 8 passes, who knows? Let's just work it until it breaks down. So, spread it on a low speed. Now we're going to work it, and we are going to work it hard as well. I'm going all the way up to speed 6. Here we go. slight change of plan. It was having an impact, but not much of an impact. So the trouble is, when I started polishing, it was taking the high spots down, and I could see the orange peel, which is not going to bode. So 2000, very wet panel, work it. Now when you sand it, you will actually feel a slight drag. When that drag disappears, you've took the high spots off. Now, I know it's 2000, I know it's not super aggressive, but always, periodically stop and check your work, because I've just put paint on this and I don't want to be repainting it again because I've gone too far with the paper. Okay, let's see. Well, my crappy camera phone can pick that up. Can you see here? You see the white sort of haziness, but the shiny underneath. I'm removing all the high spots. What I want is for everything to look like those white shady spots that you see there. Okay, so everything is flat. And fairly even in texture. So let's go again. I've switched up now to a FlexiPads medium cut. Well, it's medium to heavy cut pad. Actually, bone dry pad. 1 spritz of clean water is always required to prime this. Again, lots and lots of compound because I want it to stay wet. And I want to be able to work it. Let's bump up that power again. Right, take 2. Right, just a quick one. Now you've seen me wash the panel, you've seen me clay the panel, and I've already hit it once with compound. Then I hit it again with some 2000, and now I've just compounded it again. Look at the state of that already. That's half a panel, but that just goes to show how much this can actually cut out of the surface. That was a total of, let's put it there, not on the ground. That was a total of 7 passes. So, let's wipe that beauty off and let's have a look. Right, well, I think it's safe to say it's made absolute mincemeat of those 2000 wet and dry marks. And it took, well, I mean the 2000 took a lot of the texture out. I mean obviously the surface is a little flat still because I use such an aggressive pad. But that ain't bad. Let's get it on the angle, see if that blend line. Yeah, it's still there, isn't it? But it's nowhere near as noticeable as it was. Right, I think I'm going to give it another good pass with this combination, and then we're going to switch up to something a little more glossy. Back in a bit. Shall we take a look? Now, quite an obvious colour difference there, isn't there? But you can't see the scratch. Now I understand why these guys blend like entire sides of cars. It's just to get the colour right. But 2 passes with SSR 2.5 and not only has it completely restored the gloss, it's removed all the 2000 wet and dry sandy marks, and it's actually finished them reasonably well. I am going to refine it again though, primarily because the rest of the panel will need to be done. But that's done a pretty decent job, hasn't it, guys? Now with SSR 2.5, I did 7 passes and I did use an awful lot of products. In general polishing you wouldn't use nearly as much as that, probably half. But I wanted to keep it wet and I wanted to work it for a very long time. Now with all the SSR range, they are abrasive compounds, or sorry, diminishing abrasive compounds. So, you know, in English it means the longer you work it, the finer the cut will be and the longer it will carry on working. And this is the result. I mean, it's finished now pretty darn well. So don't be afraid to work SSR compounds, because they do get better the more you work them. Basically, once the panel has gone opaque and you can't really see any product left, you know that the compound is broken down. Okay then, time to move on. This time I'm using a green Hex Logic pad. Now this is actually described as a heavy polishing pad. It's not that aggressive, to be fair. Pretty decent one-step pad though, and that's a pretty decent one-step product. That's SSR1. Four pea-sized blobs. That's literally just to prime the pad. Anything else I use will be 3 blobs. You've seen me do this before, you know the score, but I'll explain it to you again. Now, machine polishing, you'll hear people refer to things as passes and sets. Now a pass is when you go left to right or up and down. So one pass would be left to right all the way down the panel. 2 passes would be up and down all the way across the section, and so on and so forth. So for this I'm going to be doing 3 passes. Once 3 passes is completed, that will be a set. Hope that makes sense, because I can't explain it any other way. What I will say, these are horrible to polish. There's no metal in this bloody panel, it vibrates. Pick up a bit more excess product from there and put it down there. Just like that. Spread it about on a low speed. As easy as that. Right, so I'm going to go left to right all the way down the panel, up and down all the way down the panel, left to right all the way down the panel. We'll wipe it off and then we'll see a lovely glossy finish. No need to get mad, I'm working this at speed 4. Okay, I'm not going to wipe it off now because there's no need to wipe it off. I can leave this sitting on there all day if I wanted to, and it will be absolutely fine. Just 3 blobs now. This pad is already primed. Pull it over your shoulder. Try and make sure that your passes overlap by about 50%. Do you know what? 2-piece iris blobs would have done that. But it's better to have too much than too little. Especially with this stuff, it will wipe off with no issues at all. Low speed. Now the speed at which I move my arm is quite important because you need to give the pad enough time to work. When I'm compounding, I'll probably move at about 1 inch a second. When I'm polishing, probably 2 inches a second. Now I always stop the pad while it's against the panel. See if it's rotating and it's not fixed down very well, it's going to end up flying off. Let's wipe this off and have a look. Thought I'd bring you in for this, just to show you how easy this is to wipe off. I mean, this is the side that I did first and then I moved on to there. But watch, this is no drag. Now that's a good finish. That's a really good finish. Let's go over this side. Oh. Do you know what? This is not easy to do while you're holding the camera. And that ain't a bad finish either. Such a shame about the colour difference because that would be a perfect repair. Oop. That's a shiny panel, isn't it? Such a shame about the colour difference. But I'm not going to obsess about it. That's not bad. So we've played it, we've sanded it, we've compounded it, and we've polished it. I'm about to have a vape because I've bloody earned it. Now we're going to move on to protecting it. I keep telling you guys, in a world of ceramic this and graphene that, this really takes some beating. I mean, when I started prepping that scratch, you saw how bloody difficult this was to get off. And apart from the rinse aid that I reviewed from Quattro, this has had no other LSP on it. Brought these off eBay, they're called Bad Boy applicators. Yeah, can't make my mind up with these. I mean, they were cheap. 10 of them was £10, I think. I mean, they seem to spread the product okay, they're very stiff. So level all your product out until you've got a thin layer left on the surface. We're keeping a crosshatch motion, so you're getting good coverage across everything. And that, boys and girls, is all you need to do. Right, let's leave that now for a good 30 minutes. It's fairly warm today, 22, 23 degrees. So let's leave it, let's let it bond to the surface, and then we'll come back in a little while. In the meanwhile, I think I better dress them tyres, they look dreadful. So, 45 minutes has passed. EX has wiped off beautifully as expected. That's one hell of a colour difference, isn't it? That's a crying shame, because otherwise that would be an excellent repair. But it's cleaned up really, really well. Compounds have done the job. Oh, it is what it is. Who knows, might get it wrapped one day, you never know. So that's it, guys. If you ever fancy having a go at repairing something like that yourself, you got nothing to lose really, apart from, I think everything comes to 16 quid for the paint and the lacquer, and then obviously my time. So give it a go, you might get better results than me if your car isn't silver. So to all the smart repairers and the body shop guys out there, my hat well and truly comes off to you. This is, I now fully understand why you have to blend this all the way down the car, because the colour match, you're never going to get it right, are you? Okay, so guys, hope you enjoyed it. I'm not going to call it a fail, because the repair is good, it's just the colour match is bad. Feel free to drop any comments. If you haven't already, give the page a like, give it a share, and until the next time, guys, keep it cloudy. No, keep it shiny. Bye for now.